Year after year, hip-hop fans have anticipated the release of one list, with the promise of being presented the next rap stars to take over the scene. Anticipation is a difficult thing to master, and when something's been built up in the hearts and minds of the culture over a number of years, the prospect of actually living up to it is never easy. And when each individual consumer has their own favorite artist that they believe deserve to make the list, it can be a huge letdown when the official list is released. The first Freshman XXL list was released in 2007 and has since become a yearly tradition. Most traditions get stronger over time, while slowly changing and adapting as the world around them evolves. But for some reason, XXL's tradition, that's over 15 years old at this point, doesn't seem to be getting any stronger or adapting with the times. If you look at this chart from Google Trend data, you can see that over the past 4 to 5 years, the interest in the XXL freshman list has rapidly declined. Of course, there will always be people that are upset when it comes to subjective rankings and a list founded on opinion, especially when it's something other people are also passionate about. However, it seems like the group of people that have been disappointed with the list has grown, and so have the reasons behind the disappointments.
It's fine. This XXL list is fine.
First, let's talk about why the Freshman XXL list was an impactful and helpful addition to hip-hop culture when it was originally introduced in 2007. Back then, it was a lot more difficult to listen to new music and discover new artists that you liked without third-party influences showing you the music or telling you about it. People heavily relied on word of mouth from their friends to find new music or artists that they liked. There weren't streaming services like there are now that give listeners access to over 80 million songs at their fingertips. Instead, you had to go to a physical store to purchase a CD that you typically couldn't even preview first. Or if you were ahead of the times, you could buy a song or album from iTunes. The thing about CDs and iTunes is that when you bought a title, more variety from the artist or similar ones would cost you more money. So everything was behind a paywall, and the last thing you wanted to do was to take a chance to buy an album that you might not even like. The paywall deterred people from listening to a ton of random new artists because you weren't only investing your time to listen like you are today, but you also had to cough up some money. This is why radio and television channels like MTV and VH1 were so big at the time, but even those mostly covered artists who were already household names and had mainstream careers. This made the Freshman XXL list incredibly helpful for fans of rap music that were looking for new talented artists. The list provided exposure to up-and-coming rappers that had promising futures ahead of them. This was awesome for consumers because it gave the hip-hop heads some direction for what artists were worth their time and money to check out, instead of just taking a shot in the dark. So why is this list not really that helpful nowadays? Let's start by addressing a very important point. It's not a decrease in the quality of music. The XXL freshman list gained a lot of popularity in the mid-2010s, which may have started to skew the focus of the list and how it was being considered successful, especially as a brand from the business point of view. Everything we just talked about with music being hard to access and locked up behind paywalls has gone out the window. We now have YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora, and even more apps and websites that offer free ways to listen to so much variety of music tailored specifically to you based on what you already like. With consumers having the tools to discover so many new artists, people have accused the freshman list of becoming a popularity contest, because instead of focusing on undiscovered talent and general staying power in the hip-hop and rap scene, they're looking at what artists are the most talked about and the most popular around the time of deciding who will be on that year's list. Another reason that they've lost some credibility is because the freshman pitches rely on the like and dislike ratio. The audience of the pitches are basically the deciding factor for who makes the list at this point. So there's speculation that sways the votes in a way that benefits artists that already have larger existing followings. With new incentives skewing how and why rappers should be on the list, artists with bigger online personalities rather than musical talent are likely to get picked. Like Lil Pump, for example. Don't get me wrong, he had some bangers back in the day. But I think it was apparent that the appeal of his music was more focused on energy and not the traditional rap skills that embodied the list in the past. I don't believe every artist on the list has to have insane lyrical skills, but I think Pump is an example of an artist who had an online social media presence that had already outgrown his musical abilities. To that same point, with the increasing selection of hip-hop artists who focus more on melodies and less on lyricism, you have to question the modern effectiveness of the ciphers that XXL uses to showcase the artists. In recent years, this fails to show the strengths of certain artists they've selected, like Playboi Carti and Coi Leray, who seemingly lack the freestyle rap skills that they were using to display the picks they had made in the past. The lack of these traditional rap skills, paired with XXL's dated formula, set them up for failure and viral low-light compilations, showcasing XXL's worst freestyles. It makes a pretty easy case that it might be time for XXL to change their format and outdated display used to promote the artists selected each year, forcing the up-and-coming artists into unfamiliar situations, with the expectation that they execute styles that came and went before the artist's career even began. To be a successful rapper in 2023, it's not demanded that you're able to freestyle a cappella.
My mama say, baby, you a winner, not a quitter. Well, not today, come on, soon I hit her, I'm a quitter.
A lot of new artists just aren't as comfortable freestyling. I feel like there's some changes that XXL could make that would allow them to revamp the system and to play into the strengths of the selected artist while still finding a better way to monetize from it. Perhaps the selected producer could make a song with the different cypher groups in the studio, and then have XXL shoot a music video for each song. I don't see the appeal in continuing to force artists to spit verses that lead to their embarrassment when everybody in the world knows that that's not their strong suit. Every year we could have a new Freshman XXL tape or a new Freshman XXL album, and release a new individual song for each of the artists. XXL should make it an opportunity to let artists work off of each other's strengths in real time. Most of the artists are hitmakers already, and it would be more beneficial to XXL to make promotable songs with the artists instead of forcing them outside of their comfort zone to rap in an awkward cypher. I believe there are two solid improvements for XXL. First is to avoid picking artists based on short-term internet popularity, and the second is to revamp the format in which they display the artists they've selected. I think XXL could even take it another step back by reevaluating its core focus, to make sure every artist they're selecting for the list aligns with their main focus, to expose the audience to new and rising talent that have a promising shot at longevity in the industry. If they continue to lose sight of that goal, they'll keep lingering as an outdated, unexciting brand, taking a desperate stab at relevancy. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I post hip-hop related content every week, so check out some of my other videos as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.